What's going on, everybody? It is your host, Cam Silver, back again with another Silver Boys episode, and I have a very, very, very special guest in New Jersey's own Governor Phil Murphy. Governor, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Cam. From one Jersey guy to another. Great to be on with you. Give your cousin a hug. Huge fan of both of yours.
Thank you so much. Just gonna take a couple minutes of your time. Want to talk ball with you.
I love it. I love it.
Okay, so obviously the men's college basketball tournament has been going on these past couple of weeks. So far, what have been your favorite moments of what's been going on?
Yeah, by the way, women's also tournament in great form as well. I
Yes.
think Newark hosting the regional um, games last weekend is the highlight for me, having attended games both Thursday and then Saturday. Um, Outstanding teams. Clearly, Duke came out of that as probably one of the most prolific men's teams of the past 15 or 20 years, I think, at this point. But really exciting. The arena in Newark was packed for both Thursday for the doubleheader and then Saturday for the regional final. Just a fantastic experience to be there live is pretty cool. Frankly, it's a tournament, both the men's and the women's, that plays really well on television, I have to say. But being in the arena, there's nothing like that. Just really, really exciting. Proud that Newark and New Jersey was able to host both nights.
Oh, yes. That was actually about to be my next question. How does it feel as governor to be able to host such a magnifying event where m millions of people around the country are watching?
Yeah, big deal. We've become a real powerhouse for hosting sports and entertainment. So we had the men's games last weekend. We have the in soccer this summer, the World Club Cup, and next summer the World Cup, including the final of the World Cup, which will be the most watched event in human history. Just to give you a couple of examples, but we're on fire right now in terms of sports and entertainment. Huge concert schedule in the spring and summer at MetLife, in addition to the soccer. Obviously, we have the Jets and Giants. We've got Gotham, which is a women's pro team that we've got a chunk of. The Devils are going to be in the playoffs. It goes on and on and on. Really proud of all of that.
Nice, nice. Yeah. As a sports guy, I'm just excited just to see everything flourish right now.
Me too. I totally agree with you.
I'm not sure if you've been keeping up with like the whole NIL stuff going on.
Very much so.
Been there's been, debates going on about how the NIL could possibly be taking away the Cinderella of the tournament for both men's and women's. How do you feel about that?
Listen, you got four number ones in the finals here on the men's side for the first time in ages. So that is one data point would underpin your premise that the Cinderellas may be a bygone era. You look at closer to home, look at the year that Seton Hall had in the men's game, and under I think one of the best coaches in college basketball. But they had a real challenge this year. I think it's going to be a big issue. The transfer portal and NIL. I get the notion that the players should and deserve a piece of the action. I get that.
Hmm.
I get the notion that the equivalent of free agency, which is more the transfer portal, should play a role in college sports. So I wouldn't argue with either of those as a conceptual matter, but I don't think at the moment it's working terribly well in the sense of the equity that we've long associated with college basketball in particular, even more in college basketball than in college football.
Yeah.
I'd love to see. I'm not sure what the right tweak is. I just read a piece this morning. Give you one example that is a little curious. Apparently, the Duke fund that funds the money that has attracted the Cooper Flags and others to their team is kind of hidden. The sources are hidden. There are no names associated with it.
Hmm.
Unlike St. John's, which has got one guy who's
Who's
been a
been
very
funneling?
successful entrepreneur and everybody knows who he is.
Yeah.
So it seems to me both of those shouldn't be true at the same time. So I think it needs to be tweaked. I'm all for the Cinderellas, although these are four. I mean, let's face it, on the men's side, you got four great finalists in both men and women, but four number ones that are superpowers. Duke playing Houston,
Mhm.
Auburn playing Florida, just four outstanding, well-constructed, well-coached teams. It's going to be a fabulous weekend.
Yeah, we haven't seen something like this since I believe it was 2008 when we
I
got
think
to
that's
see,
correct.
yeah, when we got to see North Carolina when they were led by Tyler Hansbrough and Memphis was led by Derrick Rose. So yeah, it's been a while.
Yep.
But I can tell you I am more than excited because according to Ken Palm, these number ones that are in the last four down in San Antonio right now, according to Ken Palm, these are the top 10 best ever.
Yeah, I've read this. I mean, in fact, they claim the Duke team, I'm not sure it's Ken Palm or one of the other sites, but the Duke team is the strongest college basketball team since their 1999 team, which
Yes.
ironically lost in the finals to UConn.
Yeah.
But yeah, the answer is yeah. I mean, I've got a family pool and an office pool. I had St. John's winning the family pool, so much for that. We've been doing that for about 20 years. The six of us in our household pair off. And my son Sam and I had been a team, and we had a tough year this year on our side. But I've got Auburn winning it in the office pool. But I will tell you, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know how you feel about this. I would not be surprised for 1 second if any one of those four teams won the last four.
Yeah, no, sang the praises of Auburn all year. I became a fan of them very, very early when I seen them play Houston down in a, neutral site game. And
Yep.
then when they were down by 20 to Iowa State in the Maui Invitational and they came back, that's when I labeled them the best team in the country. And then after that, things started to change a little bit. You start to see Florida come along a lot.
Yep.
St. John's had the best defense in the country for most of the year. I had them in the Elite Eight, so I was very sad about that.
I'm
Uh,
glad I'm not alone.
I also have a very big special connection to them, sidebar, because when I was younger, I used to go to their summer camps. I used to go to their basketball summer camps a lot, and I
Oh, I
used to be
love
able to
that.
go to the I used to be able to go to their games. Me and my dad used to go to their games all the time at the Garden and also at the Carnesecca Arena. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Great
so
program.
yes, yes.
Great program. I went to and Patino's a great coach. I went to the St. John's Rutgers game that I think technically was the Jimmy V Classic this year,
Hmm.
and met up with Patino afterward. A great program. He had a great year. They had a tough tournament, but a great year.
Yeah, yeah. One of my favorite coaches to watch. I just love the way he was able to elevate this team and elevate this program back into being relevant once again.
I think it's another way cool factor. His son is going to be in the Big East coaching Xavier next year, which is
Yeah,
great. You'll
yeah,
have father and son in the same league.
yeah. The rivalry is gonna be fun to watch over there.
Amen. Amen to that.
Coming up to it, so
Who do you like on the women's side?
the women's side.
Because
I like,
I had again uh, family. I think in my case, the family in the office pool, I had the same. We've got UConn winning it
yeah, yeah.
over
I
South Carolina, which was a little bit of a stretch because USC was on the in the same bracket as UConn,
yeah,
and of course Juju went down with that horrible injury. But I'd say I watched Paige Beckers the other night. I don't think they're beatable, but if anyone can beat them, it's South Carolina, I think.
yeah, yeah. I think it's Paige's time. She's been there before.
Yep.
So yeah, I believe that. I believe it's her time, and it's just a matter of time before you have to break through.
Yeah, and you've got great coaches in both teams, Hall of Fame coaches. I think it'll be another great weekend for the women's side as well.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, so who do you like for the games on Saturday for the men's side?
I think, again, I would not be surprised if I'm wrong on both, but I think Duke beats Houston,
Hmm.
and I think Auburn beats Florida. Again, I've got Auburn in the office pool, but my gut tells me Duke's the champ here ultimately on Monday night. But I think the title game is Auburn Duke. But I
Uh,
wouldn't bet. Let me say this. I wouldn't bet a dime on that in the sense that Houston and Florida are so good. You mentioned St. John's defense. Houston's defense is as suffocating as I've seen in a long time. Florida's really well coached. You got first team um, national first team all American.
Hmm.
Each of those programs has got a lot going. Bruce Pearl, I think, is one of the best coaches at
Yeah,
Auburn
yeah,
out there. Lots to like about all four teams, but I'm leaning Duke, Auburn, and as I mentioned on the women's side, which is I guess their Friday, right? I believe they're
yeah, yeah.
Friday.
Friday.
Actually, that'll already have been played by the time you and this gets on the air.
Yeah.
But I lean UConn, South Carolina.
Okay. Yep. I'll lean the same way with you on the women's side. It's funny
How
because
about men?
men's side, whew, I do have Duke, um, but Auburn and Florida, because Florida was able to get them earlier this season.
Yeah,
But I really, I don't know. I think Bruce Pearl will have this team ready. I'm just a little concerned about Janai Broom's injury. I know he will not practice this week. But yeah, I think I could side with Auburn.
what was that? Is that his elbow, right?
Yeah, I think it's his elbow or his shoulder, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
He took a nasty spill there, but he came back, which was encouraging. He came
Yes.
back on the court at least.
Yeah, yeah,
I didn't really need him at the end, but he's a superstar,
yeah,
absolute superstar.
yeah, yeah. I really I love his game. Very old school.
Very much so.
Yeah,
Kind of a who's he remind me of? Kind of an Elijah one almost.
yeah,
A
yeah.
lot of points, a lot of rebounds, good defense, strong defense.
Hmm.
A lot to like about him.
And then speaking of defense, what Houston did to Tennessee in that
Crazy.
final game, that was something I did not expect at all.
Neither did I. Tennessee is good.
Yes.
They ultimately they had a horrible start to that game, and then they basically played them about even for the last, what would you say, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
But the suffocating start to that game was overwhelming.
I was so surprised because you never see Zakai Ziegler or Chaz Lanier. You never see them have, off nights very
Yeah.
often. And then sometimes, and it's something that me and Kyle talk about all the time. This is just that tournament where you can't afford an off night.
Yeah. I mean, St. John's had that
Yeah.
in their loss. Every little thing that could go wrong went wrong at the same time, and that's the way it goes. It's, even as good as Duke is, how many they've lost, what, three or four games? I mean, none of these teams are undefeated, and the only question is when do the defeats happen?
Yeah.
And if they're in the tournament, it's over.
Yeah.
If it's in December, you live to fight another 3 months.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah.
What
Wow.
other sports you watching these days?
Let's see. Back into baseball. Baseball season is officially here. I'm a huge Yankee fan.
I see the hat.
Yes,
Don't be
yes.
mad at me. I was born in Boston and I still root for the Red Sox, which, by the way, gets me no votes in New Jersey, in case you're wondering.
I can't blame you for that one. I went to school up in Quinnipiac University where there was a lot of Boston fans, so yes, I know exactly how it feels.
Quinnipiac is kind of on the fault line between Red Sox Nation and Yankees Nation.
Yes, yes, the blows at this time
Exactly.
is very heavy, especially and also during football season as well. You have your Patriots, then you have your Giants, and you also have your Jets as well.
You bet. And then in Jersey in the South, you got Eagles country. So
Yeah, yeah.
we're all over the map on that one.
Yep.
What do you think of these torpedo bats?
Um, it's funny because I did not know that they were being used until Michael K. I was actually watching a broadcast while this happened, while they were explaining it, when Michael K had explained it. And then obviously everyone gets up in arms because the Yankees out of nowhere are looking like the actual Bronx Bombers. But then what I did not know is that other people within the league are using them and that this
Yeah.
is legal. So I like it. It's fine.
Crazy. It's funny. I read that Stanton has said that he was using it last year, which
Yeah.
I don't know that anybody knew.
Mm-mm.
And now you're absolutely right. I mean, Red Sox played a game last night, and Alex Bregman, who they got in the offseason, was using the torpedo bat against the Orioles. It's kind of some guy from a physics
Yeah.
professor from MIT is the one who came up with this, and basically kept this within the dimensions that are allowed, but he sort of basically moved the wood around,
Yeah.
as I understand it. So you got more wood and density in the fat part,
Hmm.
and you've got in particular on the tip, you're tapered off where you don't want to hit the ball in any event. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah. It's so smart too because it's all about where you make the most contact.
You bet.
And if you
It,
make the most contact on where the most wood
where
is,
where the
then
most wood is.
yeah.
And I also love the fact that Judge is bombs away and he's not using that bat,
Yes, yes, yes.
right?
That was the
Which is
best.
crazy.
That was the best part when Dad asked him, he was like, "Do you use the torpedo bat?" And he was like, "Have you seen what I've done over the last couple of years? I think my numbers speak for itself." And I was like, "Yeah,
Exactly.
seems
I
about right."
think it's fair to say he doesn't need to use it, right?
Yes, yes. He's one of the
Honest to God.
exceptions.
Yeah. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Do you watch golf? How do you feel about the Masters coming up?
Yeah, I do. I've started to play a little bit. I'm awful, by the way. Just pray that you're never behind me on a course in New Jersey because you'll be out all day. But yeah, I've gotten into it, and I've gotten into watching it more.
Okay,
And so I'm a Scheffler fan. I think he's probably the best in the on the planet right now. By the
nice.
way, in his early years from Bergen County, New Jersey, before the family moved to Texas, which is kind of cool. But love the Masters, no matter who's winning. It's just so special, so beautiful. I've never been there live. I'd love to do that at some point, but very excited that that's coming up. I guess next weekend, right?
Yeah, yeah. That
Uh,
was it's funny. That was just a thought because my dad's a big golfer, and
oh, good.
as I grew up, I'm not gonna say I was a big golfer as well. I kind of stopped at a young age, but yeah, that's just something that me and my dad used to do a lot. We used to just sit around and watch golf on Sundays, and especially Tiger Woods. Obviously, Tiger Woods
Oh,
is the man. So yeah,
I feel so badly that he's out of commission again.
I know.
I'll tell you a couple of interesting New Jersey golf tidbits. I sat with the Liberty folks who founded Liberty, which is up in Hudson County, as you know, it's right across from the Statue of Liberty and stunning location. They've got a ton of cool things coming up, including a big Mizuho LPGA event next month. Second weekend in May, which is very cool. And then the other one, which is cool, we've been working with in South Jersey, Mike Trout and his brother Tyler are building out a cool golf course in Vineland. And who designed it but Tiger Woods,
Oh wow.
which is totally cool. So the Trout brothers and Tiger are in business together, and I think that could be opening as early as this fall,
Oh
and
no.
that'll be a home run. And I think I don't want to speak for the Trout brothers, but I think they view that as a kind of a destination. So not just showing up and playing your 18 holes, but having the ability. I'm not sure if it's hotels or cabins or what, but to have spend the weekend there, for instance, which is a little bit like some other, like Pine Valley has got that in the South as well, but. Jersey's got a lot of really, really special golf courses. Again, let me just say, as a health warning, may you never be behind me on any of these courses or any other courses in New Jersey. You'll have to take the week off. But Jersey's got great golf and a great legacy of golf.
Nice, yeah. I'll mention that to my dad next time
Tell
he's
your
out
dad. Tell
golfing.
your dad.
Last question. Football wise, the NFL draft is coming up. Do you have a favorite football team?
Patriots, again, gets me no votes in Jersey. Again, born in Boston, grew up outside of Boston. Patriots have been awful the past couple of years. I'm excited they got Mike Vrabel. They've spent a fair amount in the free agent market. They've got the fourth pick. I'm not sure who that'll be. The rumor is they're going to take the LSU left tackle. I
Hmm.
think his name is Campbell.
Yep.
But you've got some really special talent in the first number of picks there. You got Deion's son, you got Cam Ward, you got Travis Hunter, potentially Abdul Carter from Penn State, who's going to be, I think, a history-making edge rusher. You've got
Yep.
this left tackle Campbell out of LSU. Always the potential to trade. And let me return the question: who's your team?
I'm a Steelers fan.
Steelers.
Yes.
Interesting. Is Aaron Rodgers going to land there? Do you think or not?
At this point, I think so.
Interesting. So
But
Russ signed
with
with
the
the
Giants.
Giants, right?
Yep. Russ is with the Giants. Justin Fields is with the Jets
Yeah.
now. So I was hoping to keep at least one of them, but yeah,
Yeah.
looks like it's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Listen, if he's surrounded by talent, and they got Metcalf in addition to the Pickens and others that they had already, and
Hmm.
if the offensive line, he's not as mobile as he used to, but if you've got an offensive line that can protect him, he's got enough weapons there. That could be a very productive season.
Yeah, yeah. If he does go there, I will be very interested to see what he does with the guys around him because
Mhm.
he, no matter what, it's still Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is still he's gonna have that spark in him. So yeah.
Yep. You got Mike Tomlin, who I love, who's the longest serving coach in the NFL, and
Hmm.
you got a lot
Still,
going for it. Love the ownership in Pittsburgh.
yeah. One thing I always brag to everybody, still yet to have a losing season with Mike Tomlin.
I know, I love that. I love that. How'd you become a Steelers fan out of curiosity?
So growing up, I was a huge fan of defense, and I grew up a huge Troy Polamalu fan.
Wow,
Yeah.
Troy.
The hair and
Oh, believe me.
him running around everywhere, tackling and putting everybody down. That became my guy.
I love that. I was a huge fan of his. Is that a Nets banner I see in the background there?
Yes, yes, yes. Very old
Right.
school Nets banner.
Yeah, I'd love to get him back in a jersey.
Oh yeah, I would love that too.
Um,
My
the,
family, my uncles and my aunt, they used to get before the whole Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant debacle, they used to get season tickets. So me and my cousin, or like me and a friend, we would always go out to see to go out to Brooklyn to see the Nets. But also when I was younger, I would see the Nets a lot. Me and my dad, we used to go up to the to when it used to be called the Continental Airlines Arena.
yeah,
When it was obviously, the Izod Center, we used to go up there a lot. And then the one year down in Prudential.
yeah. I mean, I'd love to have them back, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. But we'll die trying, probably.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Listen, and that's playoffs are coming up in 2 weeks in the NBA, so that's going to be exciting.
Yes.
My Celtics are trying to defend. I'm not sure they're going to be able to get past Cleveland or OKC. They feel like they're the cream of the crop this year, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
yeah. No one's giving OKC their respect this year either because they're so young, but I think
Yeah,
they've been tested enough.
yeah. I'll tell you, they picked up. I'll tell you, a great free agent move they made was getting Hartenstein from the Knicks.
Yes.
Not good for the Knicks, obviously, but that gave them sort of that muscle guy that could sort of be the backstop to a lot of that incredibly impressed. I mean, led by Shea and others, just incredible talent on that team.
Yeah, yeah. They needed someone like him too, especially with Chet being in and out as well.
Yeah, I mean, Chet's not going to be. I don't personally don't think Chet's ever going to be the muscle guy.
Right.
He's got more of a. He's obviously got size, but I think he's more of a finesse guy, and I think that combo is really good.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Good seeing you, man.
Yes, yes. It was great having you on, honestly. Such
Let's do
such a
this.
surprise as well.
Let's do this again sometime and give your cousin, your dad, and everybody in the family a hug for me. And again, let's do this again sometime.
Yes, yes, we'll do. Thank you so much for coming on.
My honor. Take care of yourself, man.
Thank you, you too.
See you, Kim.
See ya.